We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. A pair of 3-0 teams set to lock horns for the right to remain unbeaten. And we're off in Week 4. And this opening dynamic kickoff not going to be returned. It'll come out to the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Richardson going right to the air. They'll swing this out wide. Here's Achane. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Ball on the 35. Here comes 2nd and 5. Quick throw out wide, and Pierce has got it. No gain on the play. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now. You look at this Steeler defense. They were excellent last week in the win over the Chargers.
I lost count of the number of turnovers that were occurring in that game.
Did.
Right? I mean, I had a clicker going after a while. 5, 6, 7, 8. It was unbelievable. There have been that many turnovers.
And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by Deshaun Elliott. A beautiful fake. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line.
I really don't think you can fault the decision-making here because your offensive quarterback, they really had a big week last week, and you're ready for them to go again here. Not the anticipated result, of course, but you definitely understand why they did what they did. That quarterback's been hot. You want to keep the ball in his hands and see if he can keep the magic going.
3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10.
Here we go, side. Right.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. Throw left side taken in by Washington. They'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. 1st and goal. A chance to convert that early turnover into points. Harris running straight ahead. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. They run again with Harris. Pushing and fighting his way in for a Steeler touchdown. Najee Harris with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Steelers use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Boswell good with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Seven 0 is our score. Ready for the dynamic kickoff as this one's away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line. Now it's Richardson. Lets one go downfield for Pierce. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. Oh, nice move. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Pass complete. George Pickens with it. And brought down. Able to get it to their 30-yard line. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a first down. This offense is moving the ball well. Exactly.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. On the give, this is Harris. 20! And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down.
Good, strong, explosive run that started inside, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
Yeah, key that A-gap usually on those runs, right?
That's where it all starts because everyone wants to kind of control that area. It disrupts things from the defensive side and the offensive side. As we just saw, it opens up possibilities.
Here's Fields. Steps away to his left. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete.
And down here, first and goal, if it's not there, don't force it. You've got at least 2, if not 3 more shots at it. So that's a wise move to get rid of it.
They'll go again from the 3 here on second and goal.
Here we go.
Harris will score. Touchdown, Steelers. So 2 drives, 2 touchdowns here in this first quarter, and he's got both of them.
Well, he's certainly setting himself up for a big game here, and I think if the play caller doesn't get in his own way, they should keep riding him the entire way of this game. Until the defense proves they can stop him, that's what I would call.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Up the middle, Achane. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. This defense for the Steelers, they were excellent last week in the win over the Chargers.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover.
Now a timeout called for by the defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. On 4th down, the Colts will call on Rigoberto Sanchez for the punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Well, this offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3, because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, right now they've just got to be careful not to lean into overconfidence because every drive has a life of its own. But I like the way that they've started, the way that they're going about doing things right now. They've got a chance for that third consecutive touchdown, and that would be a crushing blow to the defense.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. You look at this Colt defense. They put together a strong effort last week in the win over the Bears, CD.
And the big difference in the game, their ability to force turnovers. Multiple, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, the big difference in the game.
It was impressive. Now the question, can they duplicate it? And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
That might be the third down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. That's taken on the 25. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A very good kick there, but 15 yards on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Richardson. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Richardson looking to throw this. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away. And they will get to this one and down it at the 13-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. Throw left side, hauled in by Pickens. Down the left sideline. And he's going to get this down inside the 40 before he's finally ridden out of bounds. A big play there on the catch and run. 48 yards.
Here we go.
A play fake, now Fields to throw. Flush to his right. Finding Pickens for another catch. And he will be out of bounds here on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Here we go.
They hand this off to Harris. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. 13 yards remaining on 2nd down.
Here we go.
Fields now to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Off play action, Fields. That's swung out wide to Harris. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down. Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. Boswell's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So it was 4th down and 1 in the red zone, but they elect to take just the 3.
And I'm a little bit surprised that that's exactly what they decided to do. I kind of thought that they would go for it in that situation. But sometimes I'm sure you just think to yourself, take the 3 points, put them in your pocket, and move on.
And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Firing in that time, it was Nick Herbig. Credit him with a sack. This offense so far on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and a mile. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Still on his feet. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Devon Achane. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Colts get a bit closer. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that'll cut the lead to 17-7. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking, because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well. Incomplete.
Here we go, son.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Go.
Here's Fields. A short one there to Freiermuth. Runs over him. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play, because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And some room to maneuver. But he will finally be taken down, but not before he gets it to the Colts 7-yard line. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. They'll run again with Harris. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this first half. They just cannot afford to give up another touchdown here.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal.
Here we go.
A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Najee Harris on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Extra point put through by Boswell. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback. And we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
Pass out left, caught by Woods. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Richardson out of the shotgun. Being chased out left. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
Yeah, Richardson back to throw it. Eluding the pressure right. 1:54 left on the clock here in quarter number 2. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Richardson looking to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. This is caught inside the 15. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. A great effort there. 56 yards. And the Colts are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Extra point by Gain is up and good. And the lead down to 10, 24-14. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Play action. It's Fields. Forced out to his left. And an off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after the last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now it's Fields. Out to the right here to Wilson. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a 1st down.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
A short one there to Freiermuth. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Opening carry of the game for Cordero Patterson. Oh, and that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. And he'll complete this one to Patterson. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So from the 25, this is 2nd and 5.
Here we go. Yep.
From the gun, here's Fields. Catch made right side by Wilson. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Here we go.
Fields. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Hey, we can preach ball security all we want here, but how about that effort on defense? Excellent job inside the red zone. Just took away at least 3 points by forcing that fumble.
Escaping the pressure right. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Richardson working from the gun. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Keanu Benton, the one who got in to bury him.
A 7-yard loss brings up 3rd down.
Got it. Ready? Ready.
A final shot before the half. Richardson. He's going to let it go deep for Mitchell. Oh, and that is incomplete. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break.
14.
And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the 3rd quarter. And no return forthcoming. It'll be a touchback, and the 3rd quarter will start from the 30. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
Here we go. Good.
On the ground, it's Harris. Pushes him aside at the 45. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 87 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Don't jump. Ready?
Now it's Fields off the bootleg. That's caught downfield by Pickens. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 27. Now a give, running left is Harris. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Well, that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Now they fake the jet sweep there and a run instead with Harris. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
Here we go.
And they'll send Pickens in motion right here. Now he's going to get it on the jet sweep. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
Well, part of why that play works is because the defense has to freeze because they don't know whether he's going to hand it off or keep it himself. And this time, how about...
And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Najee Harris taking it in from a yard out. And the Steelers take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Boswell good with the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Here's Richardson to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, and one of the linebackers has got it. So they take over not only in enemy territory, but in the red zone at the 16-yard line.
Well, we may not see it behind the big play sheet that they like to use, but I'll bet there's a big grin on the defensive coordinator's face. A corner blitz, what we often call a cat blitz. Usually they disguise it, Brandon. You're up on a receiver. It looks like you're going to bump and run with him, press coverage, and then he just takes off straight for the quarterback, and someone comes behind him to pick up the receiver.
And as a former member of the secondary, it makes you happy too, doesn't it?
I can't lie about it. I got a big grin on my face, too. That was a heck of a play, a heck of a call.
And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal.
Najee Harris, well built for work down here near the end zone. That's a nice job there to hold him up. But I doubt we've seen the last of him on this drive.
Here we go.
They'll try and run with Harris. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Najee Harris. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Steelers are able to capitalize on the forced fumble by turning it into 6 points. Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead is now 24. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Back to throw. Here's Richardson. Buying time to his left. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out...
And got his man complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38. Lets one go downfield for Pierce. And that is incomplete.
And that's where you're counting on a receiver's size being an advantage. They were hoping he could go up the top of a smaller DB and haul that one in. A good thought, but that time it didn't work out.
He's going to take another shot here. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, when the running game's not working, sometimes you just got to take a few more chances down the field. That's a good effort, but it winds up incomplete.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Richardson yet again. He's going to air it out deep for Woods. And oh no, it's incomplete. Well, it's a touchdown if he holds on, but somehow took his eyes off of it, falls to the ground, and brings up 4th down. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They have picked up right where they left off in half number 1, just looking really dominant, extending this lead.
And it's fun to see when teams actually do that, because so many times you go into the half after playing well, and you kind of relax a little bit. We've got this. We can kind of punch the button whenever we get good and ready. But for a team to keep the intensity and keep the execution up and come back after the half and play so well, that's actually really, really nice to see.
And a pedal to the metal. That's what we're seeing right now. Now Fields. He finds Pickens over the middle. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. To throw is Fields. Here's one deep for Pickens. That's caught inside the 20. And he'll be taken down, but first he gets deep into Indianapolis territory. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. And even 40 yards.
Here we go.
One play action. Fields. Flushed out right. And he will not throw it away. He goes out of bounds, well shy of the line of scrimmage, so that's a sack. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain, followed by a sizable loss here. They'll try the right side with Harris. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13.
Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. And that, what a dangerous throw there back across the field, but it's incomplete.
Smart move to throw that one away. You're in field goal range, so you definitely don't want to be loose with the ball. And that's great work by this defense to force a 4th down.
Boswell's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Only 3 points there, but I got to think at this point in the 3rd quarter, that's all you're really looking for.
And right now the lead is 3 touchdowns and 3 2-point conversions. So you and I both know a huge order for the best of teams. And from what we've seen so far, hard to believe that that's a likely scenario. 3 2-point conversions? That's difficult.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turn.
And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Alec Pierce, 70 yards. And the Colts are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the 3rd.
Let's go now.
Richardson will throw for it. And they're going to get the two-point conversion, caught in the end zone, and that cuts the lead a bit further. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a two-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the two-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples throughout a ball game. There's a great example right there.
And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back there and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run. But the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Here we go. Hey, Monday. Right.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. He's got this to Pickens.
And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers.
George Pickens.
66 yards.
And the Steelers get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead.
And oh, it's blocked.
A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is in a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Now Richardson. He'll get this into the hands of the rookie from Texas.
And he will be taken down, but a big pickup there on what's going to be the final play of the third quarter. Back now in Indianapolis. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41.
A run straight ahead with Achane.
And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Had his hands on it, but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake. 3rd down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Richardson looking to throw this.
Flush to his right.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
What we just saw there, that's really been a common theme all afternoon.
A lot of pressure. That forced the errant pass. He's been under duress this entire afternoon. He just had to unload that one. He's fortunate it was just incomplete and not intercepted.
Fourth down, desperation time. Here's Richardson.
A hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. The Colts unable to convert here on 4th down. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
West right, sit. Here we go. Go.
Fields now to throw. Here's one deep for Pickens. And this is going to be intercepted. And the Colts are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big fourth-quarter hole. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's second down. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages. Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on first and second down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
Now it's Richardson. And this one is incomplete.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he's going to be brought down back at his own 6-yard line. So they'll accept that penalty, and that'll, of course, move the football up the field. Richardson. This will be taken in by Michael Pittman. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 11 yards for number 11.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns. But guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Patrick Queen got in there to stick him. He gets the sack.
Well, this has turned into an absolute week to forget for this quarterback. Multiple sacks. Pair that with multiple turnovers. As far as he's concerned, if he ever sees this defense again, it'll be way too soon.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Richardson looking to throw. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Alec Pierce with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Colts have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. And now the Colts are going to keep the offense on the field as they'll go for 2 here. They'll look to throw. And he's going to get in for the score. And the lead now cut to 14. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And they've got it. They recovered it. But hang on now, though. There's a penalty flag down. Well, CD, you understand. I mean, they're so eager trying to get back in this game here in the fourth quarter, but they touched that one a little too early before it went 10 yards.
Brandon, in such a high-stakes scenario, everyone's feeling the pressure on this play. The special teams coordinator, which one is he going to pick in terms of kicks? Can the kicker execute it? Can the team wait for 10 yards? So many variables, and in this case, they didn't get it done.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off. Again, it's Harris on 2nd down. Bulldozes past him. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down.
Here we go.
They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3. And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. The Steelers send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Oh, it's a wobbler here. And well done here. That one will kick out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
Complete. This is Mitchell. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. 1 timeout at their disposal, but more pressing is the need for 2 scores, obviously. Here's 1st and 10. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
And let's face it, this defense has had its share of struggles all game long, and they know that they can put it all behind them if they defend well here in the 2-minute drill. Excellent coverage right there to force the incompletion.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. Richardson to throw it. Dancing to his left. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Nowhere to go downfield, but he's able to get out of bounds and stop the clock here with a 1st down.
It hasn't been the cleanest game for him, but there was a sign of improvement as he looks towards the next one. Nice bit of scrambling to move the sticks, and even more importantly, he didn't risk adding another interception to his ledger.
He's going to let it fly. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens in bounds.
Here's Richardson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
And now a tough spot here. This is 3rd and 10.
Here we go. Set. Set, go.
Richardson.
Eluding the pressure right. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is caught inside the 5. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Adonai Mitchell, 55 yards. And the Colts have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. A little less than 90 seconds to go. This will be an onside kick. And they've got it. They recovered it. But hang on now, though. There's a penalty flag down. A big mistake in that spot. You got to let it go, Tim.
They didn't give themselves a chance. They had an opportunity, touched it first. Now they're in a really bad spot.
Right.
And they take a knee. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Here we go.
Now whistles here before the snap, and it looks like one of the Steelers may have moved. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. A give to Harris. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football. I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
Here we go. Good.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Right.
They'll run again. Pushes him over. And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down.
As much as I praise teams for being true to who they are, in this situation, I wonder if maybe they outguessed themselves a little bit. 3rd down, seemed like an obvious passing situation. They chose to run it and didn't get anywhere close to 1st down.
Charles, normally when you see a group score this many points, it's a complete blowout. But instead, they needed every single one of those in this close, high-scoring affair.
And, Brandon, I'm still on the edge of my seat after that one because when you have that much scoring and it still comes down to a one-possession game at the end, that's not something we see very often. In this case, these offenses, they brought it. The defenses, they're going to need some work going forward.
So for the Steelers, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Colts, the defeat is their first of the year as they drop to 3-1. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Jaguars in Jacksonville. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.